Hi, my name is Dr. Jane, and here is my story. Being a physician at one of the prestigious hospitals is quite rewarding. I earn good money and live a good life. But on the flip side, I live a very busy life. I work very long hours. Most times, I could go for a 30-hour shift without sleep at the hospital. Occasionally, when I think about my large outstanding medical school debt, I ask myself if it was all worth it. I am not complaining. After all, many people would like to be where I am. But I just want to reflect on where I am and if I would be happier somewhere else. Both of my parents were doctors. My dad was a surgeon while my mom was an OBGYN. They loved their jobs and earned very good money. I was the first child of two and I clocked 30 this year. My younger brother Jude is in his early 20s. We grew up in a house full of medical textbooks. We had family friends whose parents were also doctors. My parents worked hard and were dedicated to their careers. They wanted the best for our education, and I went to private schools. They encouraged me to be very competitive in my studies, to excel and be ahead of my mates. I took academia seriously, and I sacrificed a lot of my social life in college because they developed my interest in medicine and wanted me to be a doctor. Medical school was tough. There were days I was burnt out and wanted to opt out, but when I remembered that I would disappoint my parents, I decided to persevere. Finally, I graduated medical school and became a doctor. My parents celebrated my graduation from medical school. I knew my parents were also proud of me. We had dinner with friends and family to celebrate my graduation. At the dinner, Jude talked about how he wanted to be an entrepreneur and not go to college, that college dropouts running businesses were making more money than doctors. I felt embarrassed. My mom ordered him to keep quiet, and he rudely left in the presence of everyone. Later that night, I went to talk to him in his room. I told him his dreams were valid, but he should also respect the dreams of others. My brother was just in junior high when I graduated medical school. He was the opposite of me, never took studies seriously, always playing video games, and very engrossed with his social media accounts. Anyways, my parents never really handled him strictly as they handled me. He was given lots of freedoms, maybe because he was the last born. He always wanted to do business. At 12 years old, he started selling sneakers online and was making some money. He started college but dropped out, and I was surprised that my parents did not bring down hell on him. Rather, they were very lenient with him. Because of the freedoms my parents gave him, he had the opportunity to try different things. He never cared about how my parents felt and usually went against their demands without remorse. Like a rookie, he hopped from one interest to another while my parents looked the other way. I tried to talk to him, but we were just two different people from the same womb. Luckily for him, one of the things he dabbled into was Bitcoin. When he dropped out of college, he used his college fees and invested heavily in Bitcoin 7 years ago. Initially, we were all mad at him for diverting his college funds, but we had no choice but to let him go and let him be. He would always borrow money from me or my parents to start one business or the other, most of which flopped. Fast forward to now. With his Bitcoin investment and some other business interest, my younger brother is a multimillionaire. He is extremely rich and was able to achieve all this without finishing college. My parents are all over him. Before, my parents were proud to talk about me with their friends, but now they take him to events and boast about him with their friends. I'm happy for him, but anytime I get stressed at work and I remember my student debt of over $500,000 and how miserable my life is even with my medical career, I feel sad, and I wish I had probably followed my own path without living to impress my parents. I resent the way my parents adore him and never appreciate the fact that I put effort into being a good child to them. One day when I visited my parents, I told them how I felt and that I was not deriving satisfaction from my job. They just told me to ask Jude to help pay for my medical debt and I will be fine. I felt insulted and humiliated. Now, I feel I should explore forging my own part and don't care what they think. Meanwhile, my younger brother throws lavish parties and just bought his girlfriend a Ferrari. The Ferrari could pay for my medical school debt. I have decided to pursue my childhood dream of acting. I always dreamt of being an actress since I was a child. Now I have enrolled in movie classes. Hopefully I will see myself in Hollywood living my best life very soon.